Hi guys, it's Mary. Today I decided to do my September wrap-up and October TBR. So September was kind of a slow month for me, so I was able to read more than I expected to. But I was very happy about that because I got some books off my list that I've been wanting to read for a while. So let's get started. And most of these books are like library books or audiobooks or ebooks that I can't show you. So it's very bad. I know. I'm sorry. But I do have a few of the physical books that I have read this month. So the first book is More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera. You may have heard of this book. It's a very good book. I didn't mean to read it in 2 days. It just happened. There's like a twist in it that I was just like, I just gotta keep going on and read. And I've had this book sitting on my shelf for like 10 months, 9 months, something like that. One of the things that really made me want to pick it up is there's a young adult conference happening at a bookstore about 45 minutes, an hour away from me, and all of these young adult authors are coming. So I was like, I've got to pick up some of these books that I know the authors are going to be there. So some of these books are from the authors that are going to be there. And Adam Silvera is one of them. So I'm like, okay, I just gotta read this. And I'm so glad I did. The next book is Angus Thongs and Full Frontal Snogging by Louise Renison. And I've wanted to read this book for a while, but I haven't actually picked it up until I saw it was on the sale rack of half-price books, and it was only $1. So I was like, perfect, I'll pick it up. And I picked it up, and I was so happy that I bought it. It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. I finished it in a day, but that's because it was short. It's like this diary. It's like this diary entry kind of thing. It's really good. It's not as good as I thought it was going to be, so I don't think I'm going to pick up the rest of the series. But it was an enjoyable read, at least. And then the last book that I can find, because I can't find one of my other ones, is Tales of the Peculiar by Ransom Riggs. And it's not exactly part of the Miss Peregrine's trilogy, but it is set in the peculiar world. It is like bedtime stories and of like peculiar children and lore and stuff like that. And it's just so good, and it's kind of creepy, but pictures are beautiful, covers beautiful, story is great. I absolutely loved it. So those are the books I can show you. The next book is How to Hang a Witch, and by Adrienne Mather, and she's actually coming to the conference with Adam Silvera. So I wanted to pick that book up, and I did, and there's a book review coming for that, I swear. It's a really great book. It deals with the Salem witch trials in modern day times. It's very interesting. It's a little mysterious. I would recommend having at least a little bit of background knowledge about the Salem witch trials, because if you don't go in knowing a lot about this, or at least a little bit about the Salem witch trials, you won't really get the entire experience. It's the same with Conversion by Catherine Howe. If you don't go in knowing at least a little bit of the history of the Salem witch trials, you won't get the whole story. You won't get the whole experience. And the great thing about the author of How to Hang a Witch is she's like a 10-time or something like descendant of one of the key characters in the book and in history, because he's the one that actually like sentenced witches to death. So she did a lot of history, and it's just really interesting to read the author's note in the back and see how she kind of incorporates everything into that, like, historical fiction novel kind of thing. Next book is Disney's Beauty and the Beast, a celebration of the Broadway musical. And I was so excited to read this because Beauty and the Beast is my favorite Disney movie ever. Nothing will beat Beauty and the Beast. It is my second favorite movie ever, first to the Fox movie cartoon Anastasia. Like, I know it's kind of weird that my top two favorite movies are cartoons from my childhood, but I absolutely love those movies. And Beauty and the Beast, actually, like 2 or 3 years after the movie premiered, became Disney's first Broadway musical. And the book kind of goes through, like, the story, the characters, and, like, a little bit of the history behind the making of the film. And then it goes into, like, the costume, the actors, the, like, songs they made up, the changes they made between the movie and the musical. And a lot of it was written by the actual, like, songwriters, like Alan Menken. So it was just really interesting to read that. And part of the reason I picked it up was because it was Beauty and the Beast. Obviously, like, I love Beauty and the Beast. I love retellings of it. If you really want to find out more about that, like, book to movie changes, especially since it was Disney's first Broadway musical, because now, you know, they have Aladdin, they have Lion King, they're making Frozen into a musical. So it's just really interesting to see how they kind of created that first one. The next book was Demigods and Magicians, Percy and Annabeth Meet the Canes. And this was, like, the collection of the 3 ebook stories about Percy and Annabeth from the Percy Jackson series, teaming up with Carter and Sadie Kane from the Kane Chronicles, defeating, like, Egyptian gods. Well, not gods, but, like, monsters. I really love the Percy Jackson series. It's one of my favorite series. I did not enjoy Kane Chronicles as much as I have Rick Riordan's other mythological books. So this one kind of didn't really do it for me. But I do think it was an enjoyable read, just because I love when characters from other series of books, like, crossover. High Society and Gallagher Girls crossover. Criminal Minds, I think it is, or something like that. I think it's so good, and I love it when authors do that. But I just don't think these stories did it for me. Just did not do it. So sorry, Rick Riordan, but that book just did not sit good with me. And I also read a lot of ebooks this month, which kind of, like, didn't surprise me, because they're quick for me to read, and besides the fact that I got addicted to Stranger Things and twisted my ankle in the last 2 weeks, I wasn't surprised I read a lot of ebooks. I was surprised I read a lot of books because of my addiction to Stranger Things, though. But the ebooks I did read were the 3 Pottermore ebooks that came out, like, 3 weeks ago or something. And I pre-ordered them, and as soon as I woke up the day they came out, I downloaded them, and I just read all I could. I don't think there was really a spare moment when I wasn't doing something where my Kindle wasn't in my hands, trying to get through and read as much Harry Potter, information as I could. I know a lot of it was on the website, but I just loved it so much. I was just like, I just need more Harry Potter information. And then I read the ebooks 6 through 10 of the Shadowhunter Academy series, which is Simon's story after City of Heavenly Fire trying to, become a Shadowhunter. And I wasn't that impressed with the first few books of the series, but I carried on with ebook 6 through 10. And I'm so happy I did because one, I love the Simon character. 2, I love Cassandra Clare's books. And I liked how she wrote these ebooks with different authors. She didn't write them all herself, and they got better as I went along. And then I listened to 4 audiobooks. One was Falling Into Place, and I have that book on ebook, but it's iBook. It's in iBooks, and I don't really like reading on my phone or on my computer. I'd rather read on my Kindle. So I borrowed it from the library on Overdrive, and I found it a really interesting read. It's one I've been wanting to read or listen to for a while. I did find myself getting teary-eyed sometimes, so that's definitely one that if you want to cry, do that. But it's a book you have to put a trigger warning on, so I would just be careful of that book. And then the other 3 books are books 4 through 6 of the 39 Clues Cahill's versus Vespers series, the spin-off of the original 39 Clues series. The ending books didn't get better. They didn't necessarily get worse. I didn't find them as enjoyable as the original series. I don't think I'm going to be reading the other spin-offs or any other kind of books. I'd rather just stick with the originals. So there was September. It was a lot. It was a lot. Congratulations if you're still here on this video. I applaud you very much. And October books I want to finish are A Clash of Kings, which is the second Song of Ice and Fire book. I started it back in September, but it's an audiobook and it's so long that you just have to sit through 45 hours or something of it, and I can't sit through more than maybe 2 or 3 discs at a time, so it's taking me so long. But that will be finished. It's not as good as the first one, so that's why it's taking so long. But I'm really enjoying it. I really want to see more of the series goes in relation to TV versus book, and then I want to finish Bloodlines, which is the spinoff of the Vampire Academy, and I actually started this in September too. I obviously didn't finish it. I've gotten about a third of the way through. It's interesting so far. I probably would have finished it if I hadn't gotten into a little bit of a reading slump over the last week, which is where my Stranger Things addiction came from. Thank you to my sister for that. She recommended it to me, and now I'm addicted. And I can't stop watching it, or watching interviews, or watching shipping videos, so thank you for that. But off topic. So I want to finish Bloodlines. I will probably finish that, hopefully. And then I have it on audiobook from the library right now. I want to finish all the Bright Places. I have always been very hesitant about picking up books I know about mental illness, which is why I haven't ever picked this book up, or Everything. I don't know why. I feel like these are books that are going to make me cry, and I don't really like to cry at books. I don't really like to be emotional, like, during certain times. But the author is coming this week to the event, and I have been wanting to pick it up. I've just been very hesitant. So it is definitely a book I will read this or listen to this week. It just it's just gonna take me some time. And then the last book I've already started. It is called The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins, and you may have heard of it. I mean, it's been a very, like, popular book this past, like, year or two. And it's actually becoming a movie, or it has become a movie. The movie is coming out this week. So since I've been wanting to read it since it, like, came out, like, a few months after it came out, I was like, okay, movie's coming out, better read it. So I'm going to read that, and I'm very excited to read it. I'm very excited to read all of the books and listen to all of the books that hopefully I will get through. I don't know if I'll get through all of them, but we'll see next month. So there you are. There is my wrap up and TBR, and yeah, I will see you guys soon with that How to Hang a Witch review and maybe something else. I don't know. Maybe a tag video. Who knows? Bye.